Greetings to all of humanity. It's really a joy, it's my pleasure, it's my honor to be greeting you and bringing this message of emancipation to you, whereby I'm pointing you to look in order to discover that your real identity is your divinity. Now, I want to speak to you concerning a Caribbean island by the name of Barbados, where the Goddards would have started their business. And those of you who've been listening to the lectures of Neville Goddard, you would know also that Neville Goddard was born in Barbados, and that Barbados is a Caribbean island that actually depend upon tourism. Most of the economy is built up based on tourism, okay? And I am from the Caribbean and just living about 30 minutes away from Barbados by plane. And as a Caribbean person, I've been brought up a certain kind of way with a certain kind of indoctrination. It is very important for me to share with you what the lifestyle of the islands is really like and the mentality of the people that resides in these islands in light of what Neville would have taught and what he would have learned from Abdullah. So this is an effort of me reaching out to the people in the islands, the Caribbean islands, to understand that we would have had a Caribbean mystic by the name of Neville Goddard and an African mystic by the name of Abdullah, and how Africa and the Caribbean was linked together in enlightenment of knowing who we are. And present day, there is a mystic right here again in the Caribbean, in a time where there is almost like a Great Depression, like it was in 1929 to 1939. And here I am bringing the same message of self-realization to each and everyone who would hear me and would believe these teachings that the Bible addresses the human mind and must be interpreted psychologically. Now, throughout the Caribbean islands, you have the Goddards and Sons business enterprise. And in some of the islands, the name has changed, but the mission statement and so on remains the same. And if you go into any of these business, you see where they show you the origin. It's written there, the origin of where their company really started from. And they always give homage to the Goddards and Son. And you'll see a picture of Victor Goddard, Neville's dad. Okay, Victor was Neville's eldest brother. Now, that first business of Goddards and Son that was started in Barbados, it was started by imagination. And that's the most important thing that I really want to get across. And anyone who would listen to me from the islands who believe in secular Christianity, I want to let you know that when the Bible speaks of God in man, it is speaking of man's imagination. That's why St. John 1:3 says, all things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. That him is not speaking of a man who existed 2,000 years ago, that born from a woman's vagina while she was still a virgin, because that is not true. That him is just a personification of your own human imagination, which is the creator in man. And the reason why I'm saying human imagination, because you're having a human experience, and your true essence is spirit. Okay, so Neville tells of the story of how his brother Victor would look at that building for 2 years, and he in his imagination would see his family name written on that building, Goddard and Sons Enterprise. And for 2 years he used his imagination to get that building. And today, the biggest business in my country right now is from the Goddards and Sons. Okay, it goes by another name, by Correys. Okay, Correys and Company Limited, but it starts with Goddard. And I would have done a video on the same channel where I went into the to the office, and I show you a picture with Neville brother and so on. I show you their mission statement and so on, and provide all the evidence for you and show you the business and so on. I think it was a vlog that I did. Okay, but the thing I really want to get across to the people in the islands is that they need to know that when they hold on to secular Christianity and believe that the Bible is literal and that the Bible is secular history, that kind of belief would keep them in limitation. It would keep them in poverty and mediocrity, because that kind of belief would not lift your self-esteem. That kind of belief would not give you the kind of self-confidence that you need, and you will never come to realize that you are limitless. You will never come to understand energy, vibration, and frequency. Therefore, that kind of teaching, it have you looking outwardly. So Neville was taught by Abdullah true Christianity, and that true Christianity taught him how to look inwardly and to discover that his real identity is his divinity. And that's the kind of message actually I want to get across to the people of the Caribbean, that the Bible is not literal, that the Bible is psychological. That is why I would recommend my Bible, the 66 Books of Magic, the Overcomer's Bible, with no Jesus. There's a blank space for you to write I am, or you can write your name. Because you see, the name of God is I am, from generation to generation, and that's your memorial, that's your name. You can never say I am and not referring to yourself. So there are many people who believe in secular Christianity who are actually working with the Goddards and Son businesses all throughout the Caribbean, all throughout the islands. And that's why I find that it's very important for me to make a video, okay, that I believe that can reach out to the people in the islands, especially those in Barbados. Like, for example, I remember it was in 2010, I went to Barbados for a natural bodybuilding competition that was run by a bodybuilding federation from America, the WNBF. And I had to go to the hotel for a meeting with me and another brother. And while we was looking for the area where we was going to meet, we end up, and we would have taken the wrong entrance, and we end up in a different area of the hotel. And when I behold the people who was at that side, who was doing the work, like the washing and the cleaning and all of these kind of work at the hotel, having seen the hotel, and was talking about how beautiful it was, and we were overtaken by everything that was there. You know, from the front desk to everything, you know what I mean? But when we find ourselves to that back part, that area, and we see the let me say, laborers, when we look at these people, they look oppressed, down pressed, and they are all, I talk about black people like myself, how they looked. I could have feel it. I definitely feel what they were going through. And they had these large, what should I call them? I can't get the name right now, but they're filled with clothes, sheets, you name it, all the different things that they have to like wash, and you know, they were filled with all of these chalies, I think, you know, with all of these things, and these people look so oppressed. And I can guarantee most of these people, church people who go to church and, you know, believe in a God outside of themselves and so on. And they was doing the lowest of, I mean, no job is higher than none, but, you know, I mean, I always say somebody have to sweep the floor, somebody have to clean the street, but it doesn't have to be you, okay? Because if you know better and you know a better way, you're gonna take that better way, okay? You know, and when you do things that you love, you will not find yourself in position like that. Most people do things because they're chasing after money and trying to get money, and the way how they were educated in school and so on, okay, with this kind of employee mentality, especially in these countries where most people have a colonial mentality, okay? So you have to understand all of that. And, you know, I felt it, and it's something that followed me, and that was since 2010. You see, and something that followed me, I definitely felt it. And the last time I remember I really feeling that way is like, I remember when I was more involved in secular Christianity, when people come around me, I used to pick up all of their energy too. I used to feel all of the energy, how oppressed they are, how frustrated they are, how stressed they are, and so on. Okay? And so, when I look at all of these things and to know that, what Abdullah taught Neville Goddard, is something, very hard to kind of deal with when I think of it. So that's why I'm taking this opportunity to share this video to everyone. And I'm saying to you that if you have a friend or a relative who live in Barbados, or if you're living in Barbados, I would like as much people in the islands to get this kind of message that was taught by Abdullah to Neville Goddard and to practice it in their life. And for the people of the islands to really wake up and to look inwardly. I know of people who are practicing this teaching that was taught to Neville Goddard by Abdullah, and they're making millions of dollars and speaking on social media and the internet of how they're building school in Africa. And these schools that they build in Africa is to educate the people to believe in Jesus, to believe in Savior. So, it's something that, it's very hard for me to keep quiet about, because I can see quite clearly that our people are being, kept in mental slavery and being enslaved. I can go on and on. I met a Mormon, and more than one time. I would have many experiences with Mormons, but I just want to say this one, whereby, I play with his ego, because I know what they were really all about, and I just wanted to prove it for myself, and I had a conversation with him, put him to silent, and then I look at him, and I say, I am God, who are you? Okay, and this white guy from America, because they always come in these paths to try to indoctrinate the people to continue to keep them in mental slavery, and they do it deliberately. And he says to me that I am God. And he was angry about me saying that I'm God, because it's like he's supposed to be saying that he's God. Okay, and I said, so then why are you going and telling my people that they must believe in this Jesus, or the second testimony of Jesus and Joseph Smith? And he didn't want to have any other further conversation with me. And sometimes, it really hurts when people try to say, don't speak about race. I know there's only one race, which is the human race. I know there's only one universal consciousness. I had an experience that no one can tell me anything otherwise. I know that Jesus and Mary's story was used to brainwash people and to keep them in mental slavery. And I know the educational system that been taught to us in the Caribbean, it all have to do with colonialism and keeping the people in colonial mentality. I know that. Slavery mentality. So you have to speak the truth. Some people become so conscious. They're so conscious. They're so real. You can't talk certain things. I can't deal with. I'm not a pastor. I'm not a preacher. I'm not here to kiss nobody's motherfucking ass. I speak the truth. There's some people who we all one. Come and be a motherfucking hypocrite with no one. I speak the truth. I always speak the truth. And that's why this message need to be heard. And I'm doing whatever it takes for it to be heard. And I know this is the time that they're trying to do everything to take away free speech. And nevertheless, the truth must be known, and only the truth shall set us free. Anyone with common sense would know what is happening right now with COVID-19. It's planned. It's a pandemic. It's a scamdemic. It's a war on consciousness. It's a war against this kind of truth. Anyone with common sense would know that. So I don't want to make this into a rant, and I don't want to go on and on and on, but this is what I just want people to know, how the Goddard and Son business has really started in the Caribbean, and how Caribbean people need to wake up. So if you're in Barbados and you believe in secular Christianity, think again. Think again. So with that being said, my brother, my sister, I don't want to go too much. I just want to say peace, love you, I'm out.